Hi guys, so we got some great news, okay? So there's plenty of people on Wall Street that supposedly been managing funds for 20, 30 years that still think the market has a chance to hit 4,900. All that tells me here at 13 Market Moves is that they don't know how to read a fucking chart. And that is actually great news for you if you're trading with 13 Market Moves over the course of the next 5 months, because we're going to beat every fucking hedge fund manager out there. So apparently this guy's got a 4,900 price target in S&P by the end of the year. Number one, why would you set a price target just above a prior high in the market, which was around 4,800 and some change? So this guy clearly has got zero understanding on charts, okay, and he's clueless about the fact that the trend has shifted. Now, let me walk you through exactly some of the charts that many guys like this guy is totally not paying attention to. And this is probably the most frustrating thing, because some of you guys, you got your retirement with companies like this that manage your fucking funds and money that are absolutely clueless what the fuck they're doing. The question is, how does a guy like this can even keep a job for 20 fucking years? Because he's completely clueless that the probability of market hitting 4,900 is probably like 0, and the probability of market actually hitting 3,900 within the same time frame is like 90%. So let me walk you through some of these charts, and please don't miss the next video because I've had a lot of questions about NVIDIA. So if time permits here, I'm just gonna knock one out on NVIDIA and answer all your questions, guys. So let's walk through the charts. Okay, so the first chart we're gonna look at is the chart of Bitcoin. And some of you probably think, well, what does Bitcoin have to do with stocks? Guys, the charts are the same. It doesn't matter what you trade, oil, Bitcoin, some shit coins, it doesn't matter, okay? Stocks, growth stocks, dividend stocks, charts are the same for everything. So when you understand charts, you can trade a lot of things, and this is what we teach you here at 13 Market Moves. So pay attention very closely. I briefly talked about this formation without actually bringing up the chart in the last couple of videos, and so pay attention really close to this formation right here. So the white candle, I've mentioned how Bitcoin in one day goes from 30,000 to almost 32,000, and the next day it erases all of those gains, okay? So this is what you would define as a top on the chart. It's loud and clear, okay? Now, basically something shoots up after it's been going higher for quite some time, right? And then it makes a top. And you know for a fact it's a top because there's so many people the next day are getting the fuck out of that thing, okay? Now, watch what happens next. It doesn't necessarily mean that, okay, things are going to crash like they did on Bitcoin in the last few days, but it means that there could be some sideways pattern for a little while. And so what we're going through on many stocks, I'll bring up some charts of some very recent examples to show you that this is what's happening. And the reason Bitcoin is such a good example, as I pointed in the last video, Bitcoin oftentimes will point to what will happen to S&P 500 next. It will often point out to what will happen to NASDAQ next. It will often point out to where things are going next. So Bitcoin is actually a good leading indicator that many traders are not considering, or maybe they've used it at the wrong times. But what I'm telling you is Bitcoin was the first chart that has made this type of formation. And what happens next is a tornado pattern. You have bounce 1, followed by a sharp drop, bounce 2, followed by a sharp drop, bounce 3, followed by a slight drop that accelerates into a great size drop, which is basically a move expansion. So there's no way, for that reason, if you apply this trajectory to some of the stocks that I'm about to show you, that the market can possibly, okay, hit 4,900 by the end of the year. Now, it could be that overall trend is going to be lower, and we may not see any huge moves like the one we've seen in Bitcoin percentage-wise in the overall market till at some point when everyone comes into realizations that the market is fucked. Now, we have told you that the market has been fucked before anybody else told you that the market has been fucked at the very top of the market, which basically coincide pretty closely to this Bitcoin making the top, because shortly after that, we have noticed that a lot of other stocks are making the top. So, for example, everyone's favorite among hedge funds has been this stock, AVGO. Well, AVGO, okay, does make the high at the same time as Bitcoin, but shortly after that, can you pay close attention to this part of the chart? You see that white candle that the next day followed by a sharp reversal, sideways trend. Huge white candle, which coincides top, double top, followed by a huge reversal, followed by a drop. You got bounce 1, drop, bounce 2, in the process of a further drop. We can get possibly bounce 3 and then a colossal drop. And the point is, Bitcoin has been leading the way. So this is overall a huge top information that is formed in what I would call, besides Nvidia, this is probably second or third darling of all times this year. So every bank has been behind moving the stock higher. And you got to understand, hedge funds, they are like a herd of sheep. Once they understand, oh, well, JP Morgan is dumping this. Well, Goldman Sachs is dumping this. Well, Oppenheimer, I'm still at 4,900 for the year-end target. No, fuck no. That guy's going to be dumping it too. So it's like a domino effect, all right? And unfortunately, it takes, in some instances, for the top to form, it takes a little bit of a time. But if you were to draw a chart pattern here, what do you guys see? All right, well, here's shoulder 1. Here's a well-defined top within which, okay, there's literally 2 double tops with major divergences, which would teach you here 13 mark moves, follows by a major drop. If I was to calculate the number of alerts I have sent to short this fucker right here, guys, probably in excess of 200 alerts that you would personally gotten from me to short this thing when it was trading above 900, and you would have ridden all the way close to the 800. Now, the good news, these bounces are shortable. But let's look at some of the more premier examples. So, Microsoft, okay, this is another top information that very much resembles the top information in what? Bitcoin. So you got this huge spike where on that one day, the stock goes from 350 all the way to like 360, 365. If I was to put up the alerts on the screen, that was the fucking day when we send you 20 alerts to short the fuck out of Microsoft because we told you what? This is a fucking top. Okay? And Microsoft just can't find its way out. And every time you get a black candle, what happens next? The shit drops again. Now, watch this, because this stop on Microsoft was formed when? Shortly after the top was formed on what? Bitcoin. Thank you very much. Now, let's go with Amazon. All right, so Amazon reports great earnings, awesome quarter. The stock bounces, creates this black candle, and since then we've been nothing but staying bearish on Amazon. And contrary to what every Wall Street bank believed, that day after the earnings report, they were announcing target price increases, all kinds of, great forward-looking stuff for Amazon. But the truth is, okay, there's no way Microsoft can repeat that quarter, which is why this is a fucking top. And when does it happen? After the top in Bitcoin, after the top in Microsoft, okay? Fast forward to the next example. Now, this one is a little bit more recent. Actually, before I show you that one, let's look at Mercado Libre, which would be synonymous to Amazon because they're in the same type of business, okay? So watch this. Mercado Libre, great earnings report, shoots up to 1375, And look what the stock does shortly after that. This is a fucking top. And we've been short Mercado Libre. Honestly, on that one, I've came a bit too early because after we shorted, it still bounced. But look at that colossal drop right after that. And look at the formation. So if you were to draw a formation here, it would be shoulder 1, top, and forming shoulder 2 right now. So it's a head and shoulder formation. So every top I'm showing you right now, and any one of these charts is basically what? It's a top that is also accompanied by very bearish formation known to be as head and shoulders. So more recent example as of yesterday, Friday and yesterday, you've got PANW, also Wall Street darling for many, many years. What do you have? Great earnings report, bounce, followed by what? You see the same beautiful white candle that you've seen on what? Correct. On Bitcoin when it topped the fuck out right before what happened the next day. Now yesterday, if you're part of the paying member group, what did we send you? At 244, 243, when PNW was trading at that level, 243, 244, we send you a message to do what? To short it, buy puts. And today we send you multiple messages to buy puts on that thing because a high probability it will close the fucking gap. Okay, let's take it a step further. So, Leo, you've been showing us a bunch of technology stocks. So, okay, clearly, technology stocks follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin showed you the way of what other technology stocks were going to do. Okay, so here's where you run is, so far I've shown you the technology stocks, but what we're looking at now is a financial stock. And it topped out shortly after what? Shortly after Bitcoin did. Here's a clear top, okay, and again, resemblance of a head and shoulder formation. And we've been short that thing ever since it was above 700 bucks. Industrials, DE, top, drop, major divergence on the RSI wall. The two tops have formed. Learn that in 13 Market Moves charts course that talks about charts, divergences, and patterns recognition. Our all-time favorite for shorting China and industrials at the same time, even though this is a U.S. company. CMI, clear top, followed by sharp drop, further drop, okay, def hook formation is forming. That's going to lead to a def cross. This stock's going to go way, way lower, okay. FSLR, being a long time bull on that one since everyone's been a bear when the stock used to be at like 110, 120 bucks. Clear, 1, 2, 3, top. When are these tops formed? Okay, first solar. Okay, what does it have to do with Bitcoin? Absolutely nothing. Okay, and yet the top information is formed shortly after Bitcoin formed its top information. It is clear. Huge pump followed by the next day dump. Huge pump followed by the next day dump, and multiple days sell-off move 333 right here on First Solar. If you were signed up with 13 Market Moves alerts or trading with a coach, you would have caught that trade. We nailed it. We shorted it right here. We cashed out right here. So, guys, you can take multiple sectors, and many of them are forming tops. Now, let me show you a few things that are not forming tops to finalize my case, such as TLT. Now, there was an instance back in time. Would actually have to go a little bit further. And the question I propose for you right now is, what is the significance of this 93 level? What the significance of this 93 level, if we go a little bit longer, is the fact that when TLT was right here many, many months ago, we posted a video when everybody was calling for fucking bond collapse and all kinds of shit. We said, look, this is the bottom on TLT, okay? And so shortly after we posted that video, actually I think like the next day or two, TLT bounced out of what at that moment looked like, sure, we're heading for apocalypse right here. But it bounced out, multi-top formation. It's coming close to that level again. And it looks like we're pretty close to that bottom here. I mean, maybe we'll go just a little bit lower, maybe to a 90 this time, maybe to even like an 88 and 89. But from there, we expect TLT to bounce. So TLT bottom goes very nicely with a lot of tops in the stocks, and I think the market will shift way lower, while TLT is going to start bouncing way higher after possibly still going slightly lower from here. Okay, and I'll finish this with a really cool tip for you guys, that oftentimes you'll hear all these hedge funds telling you like, hey, buy the dip. And on days like today, you'll be like, well, Tesla is bouncing pre-market, and you're thinking, well, shit, things are looking so bullish, okay? And if you bought calls on Tesla today, you got fucked. That's a fact. So we told you to buy puts on that thing. We told you to buy, gave you a whole list of puts to buy today, because, guys, you can throw a rock right now and hit a trade as long as you're shorting the bounces and you're not buying the dips. So the point of this illustration, though, right here is the fact that people could argue, well, Tesla has already dropped so much. It was just at 300. A day or two ago is at 210, 220, and now it's at 231. And you may be thinking, well, hey, it already dropped so much from 300 to almost 200. Okay, it makes sense to buy the dip. Well, based off this indication that you would have learned from 30 Market Moves courses, it oftentimes pays to look at the accumulation distribution. So despite of this drop in Tesla from 300 closer to the 200 level, not many people have sold yet. And it happens at the same time where MACD makes a bearish cross. So chances are all these people that are hopeful of buying the dip here, when the market will reverse lower tomorrow and the next day, and it will, a lot of these people that has been holding off and possibly has been preventing a sharper drop off in Tesla shares, they will start unwinding, and this is the moment where you can get a very sharp drop. Okay, now if we go look at the daily chart, it makes things a little bit more visible here. So basically, you got a black candle on Tesla today, which means on a day with Tesla pumped, there was too many fucking sellers, okay? And when you look at the accumulation distribution here, right, we dropped from 300 all the way closer to 210 area, okay? But guess what? Not that many people sold. So there's a high probability that if we move lower, we probably are going to break that 210 level, and we probably are going to get closer to 196, because at the point when this shit reverses lower, there's going to be a lot more sellers that have been holding off from selling before. And this illustration applies to the rest of the market right now. So the question is, if every stock has pretty much set a top at this moment in time in the last few months, if we're going to look chart after chart after chart, if the top is set and most of the stocks are resembling what is a highly bearish pattern, which is a head and shoulder formation, okay, the question is, now how the fuck does a hedge fund analyst that's been doing this shit for 20 fucking years arrive at the price target of 4,900 by the end of the year? There's only one answer to that. They don't know how to read charts. So if you want to bid an average hedge fund manager out there, all you got to do is take a 13 market moves course, and you can beat those fuckers, because most of the time those fuckers don't know what the fuck they're doing. So be better than that, okay? Strive for excellence, strive for greatness, trade with 13 market moves. And if you're not sure how to transfer all this information I've shown you in this video into high quality trades with high quality entries and exits, make sure you schedule a call today with the 13 Market Moves coach by going to 13mmtv.com or 13marketmoves.com. Guys, we're looking for 44 guys to take their accounts to $1 million plus by the end of the year. It requires strong character, it requires understanding of charts, and it requires strong ability and willingness to execute the program that we have here at 13 Market Moves. If you think you got what it takes, guys, it is not too late. It is possible to make it happen this year. So join the 44 guys that will make $1 million plus this year with 13 Market Moves, guys. Let's roll. Don't miss the next video where I'm going to reveal to you exactly how to trade NVIDIA. Let's roll.